I'll start to share the screen. So before starting to share the screen, so what was your opinion? We have covered about some 5 to 6 dimensions as a test, right? You learn them independently.
Yep.
Is there any area that you think it is unessential? All of them are essential, correct?
All of them are essential. And in fact, I think like we can also add a couple of other things as well.
What are they?
I mean, similar to MBTI, I've also come across something else called, in MBTI, we mostly focus on the positives, and on the negatives, we touch up a little bit, saying these are certain weaknesses. But then there are a few other things which probably we can also look at, which is called as the dark triad, where they look at the negative traits of every person.
Okay. So we actually, career counselors are not negative psychologists. They're more
Understood that.
positive psychologists. So because when you provide career guidance, it doesn't only belong to the younger generation for whom you plan. So the
Hmm.
graduates and working professional is a critical approach for understanding what they are presently going through and where they can be bailed from, right? We cannot give them an absolute modification for them, but we can actually go and check where they can go and adapt. All right.
Right.
So only we say that career counselors, apart from being introvert or extroverts, judging or perceiving, they are also possible to be sensing or intuitive. When you are carrying out a counseling for a younger generation, it's a planning. You are looking at a future, visualizing it, correct?
Right.
So it can be intuitive. When you select your target audience are people who are from the graduates and working professional, there they are experiencing a current problem. You might
Hmm.
have to work for people who are working professional in mid and senior career at a larger perspective. What is their current problem? Why? What is actually rubbing them? Is that a career growth or a non-sync with what work nature they are doing? Or would they like to have some second innings where their passion not been, heard at all? So these are the things which are actually currently experienced by a person, right? So sensing there. So you
Agreed
can
on that.
decide, but you should have a blend between sensing and intuiting if you want to tap both the group of target audience. Clear?
Right. I mean, I'm actually talking about something which is like beyond
Coming to you.
this.
I'm coming to you. See, first of all, the comprehensive career planning assessment is either 5 or 6 dimensional, correct?
Yep.
5 dimensional for people who are 5 dimension is only for doing a career planning, correct? The sixth dimension EQ doesn't decide which career, rather it focuses on finding what is the current need. So only the graduates and working professional have the sixth dimension.
Right.
Okay. So all these are considered to be had in one-on-one discussion.
Hmm.
All right. You may not be able to arrive at a proper response.
Right.
You may not be able to record the response. That is why, in order to get a focused input about the candidate, we are administering this as a test. And
Hmm.
this test is not something, which they can take it at their own whims and fancies. They have
Right.
to give the test within a frame of time. This assessment is designed for minimum 45 minutes and maximum 1 hour. Sometimes you
Hmm.
can see if, once I made my husband to take. He finished it in 20 minutes. What I asked him, what happened? Why did he? I gave some objective type only. I let an ant, and wherever the ant went, I actually marked that as an answer. I told crazy. Then what can I actually guide you? Why do you need to guide me? I don't need a career guidance. That is what you will have with people who don't want career counseling because they have not sensed the need for career counseling. Understood?
Yep.
So, career guidance is not something one size fit all. For a student
Yep.
in 8, 9, and 10, the career guidance is after 10th in India, what subject should I choose? If you get into the Google and check for the statistics, after 10th, what? After 12th, what? Or career, these kind of searches cross about 10K in a month. All right. The plight for the 8th, 9th, and 10th is first is need for which subject to choose. In India, we have state and central board whose elective starts after completing 10th. As you know, the Delhi board, ICSC, the elective starts from 9th itself. So the children in 8th itself are in an urgency to know which subject to choose. And this is a stage where they are open to all the career fields. Their plight is, if I choose this subject, which career am I going to take? And the parents' plight is, it's an investment for them. If I'm going to put in this particular group of study, then my child will be able to earn how much? There's always a kind of a cloud in many of the parents' mind that, I will earn only this much, or the student will learn only this much. It's an investment for them. And they'll be looking for the renowned careers. And they'll go by the dignity of labor. Whether the child is attached or not, they don't. So that's why what we are doing is making things possible irrespective of the career field, testing them on these 5. Even though their skill and ability is not actually suitable, we are showing them the projections, how it can be made possible. So based on the emotional areas, we are looking at a career destination, not exactly one. We are giving them some more options. And on a reverse engineering, from there, we give them a roadmap for their subject of study from their 10th, 11th, 12th, or also in case of a graduate and working professional. So till what they're actually going to the maximum heights of a particular job role, we are just giving them an education roadmap. But in case of students in 11 and 12, here the requirement is slightly modified. They've already selected a subject, begin a career journey. Here, they would like to know specific occupations. In 8, 9, and 10, it could be a career field or a career path. But in case of 11 and 12, having chosen what are the career paths which are eligible for. All right, there, where am I highly suitable? And they have a kind of an approach which is the best amongst the better option. The third is the graduates. I have started my intensive journey on the career path. They may be in year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whichever are their respective program of study. After this, I am in a rush to get employed. So what all competencies can I gather? And should I actually do my highest most study and then go for employment? Or after having gone to employment, can I study? Right? Affordability also comes as an important point there. Right? A student could have been a PCMB in 11 and 12. But if the candidate has taken a BSc in maths or statistics or computer science or IT or electronics, in such cases, they can have an option to do a post-graduation in the same domain. They cannot get into BSc in nursing or BSc in biochemistry because they've done a PCMB in 11 and 12. So there are applied areas. They can take up that. But on the mainstream front, if their student has taken a BSc in biochemistry or a BSc in geography, therefore a post-graduation relevant to that only they left. Then only there can be a master's or a distinctive competency acquired by them. So such way, how do they actually develop their employability skills? 80% of their hard skill plus 20% of their soft skill where they are falling short so that where they can go and reflect a behavior. That's a requirement for a graduate. A working professional after employment, the early age between 2 to 3 years, that 1 to 3 years, right? Their urgency to take a job is fear of, not getting a job, fear of getting employed. They'll be open to take any job, which may not be as a connect to their education also, because their fear is about paying the, borrowings taken for their education, their economic condition. So they resort. The first 1 year, they'll try to turbulate and go on so that they can claim themselves to have been 1 year experience. Experienced in what? That 1 year experience is not staying in a company. It is about, knowing the job very skillfully to do it. Right? Going to a second, third, fourth number of jobs they hop in the first 5 years also, they're going to be struggling without knowing where they can actually make success. For a mid-career, in my job, okay, I have somewhere crossed through here. Right? There are a lot of promotion opportunities available in the organization, but they are not considering me. Internal hiring. I don't see any growth in this job, what I'm doing. Can you tell me? See, today we have job for everybody. After COVID, the Zomato, Zepto, and all these Swiggy guys, they're all making money, correct? Just by doing door delivery. What's the growth for them? Do you think that there is any growth other than the money that they are earning?
No.
Somebody who is actually wanting to, craving for growth in their life. They should know, right, what alternative careers I can go. Yes, now, till my 30 years, I can travel around. But after 30 years, what will I be? A travel or a tourist guide earns very well. Until 35, 40 years, they can travel around. After 40 years, what am I good at? What will I be able to do? If I want to go to another career area, they're not considering me as an experienced person in that area. I might have been earning 1 lakh in this domain. But if I want to shift to another domain, I'm considered to be as a new person there, a fresher there. If I am having a compulsion that I'll have to go there only, leaving my current, this is what happened to all the travel tour operators during COVID, right? People movement was very much arrested. The maximum shattered career field was this hospitality, travel and tourism. Travel and tourism, right? So they were all wondering, what else can I do? They need to know, where can I go? Had they not gone with a proper planning, what they are actually going to be in their next 5 years, 10 years. That was without a planning gone there, correct? Such can also be the people who are actually in the 3 years to 8 years band with work experience. They can come to you. Or there can be, in such cases, you will put them a comprehensive career planning assessment. And find out what are the alternative careers where they are suitable with the current profile. Next is, I am working here, but I'm not getting an opportunity to get promoted at all. They are all in a cloud that promotion frequently happen every year. Appraisal is for promotion. Appraisal is a discussion scenario for performance gap. Once they have met the required performance, it doesn't mean that they have to get promoted. They should have actually indicated their readiness for their next assignment of role. How do we know that? Comprehensive career planning assessment doesn't provide that solution. It's a situational judgment test. You said, Ganesh, that MBTI doesn't actually give that solution, correct? Agreed. We will not be using MBTI in every time. That's where we use Big Five. Big Five is an assessment, a personality test, which is from the modern schools of thought. 5 important personality factors are considered. What is that? Originally, it was called as Cano. Now it is renamed or as Ocean model. OCEAN. What is that? O stands for openness to experience. What do we understand about it? Openness to experience is ready to take risk. C stands for conscientiousness. A person's nature with a sense of responsibility and accountability. E stands for extroversion. Associating with a macro crowd to work. A stands for agreeableness, which is the social skills. And N stands for neuroticism. Standalone, you've got the meanings, correct? With this,
Yep.
where can I arrive at a solution? Is that a question which is hammering your brain? Yes, here it is. All the factors independently doesn't serve. Two factors combine and give a new coefficient. Openness to experience with conscientiousness. Openness to experience with extroversion. Openness to experience with agreeableness. And openness to experience with neuroticism. Or conscientiousness with extroversion, conscientiousness with agreeableness, conscientiousness with neuroticism. Extroversion with agreeableness, extroversion with neuroticism. Agreeableness with neuroticism. So like this, two personality factors pair and give a new coefficient. And how is that coefficient being measured? Each personality factor is measured in a scale of 100. 50 being a median point, it is considered 51 to 100, that particular personality factor is very high in them. Below 49 and below till 0, that means that particular personality factor is a low in ratio. Okay. So the results from the assessment tells that it is plus or minus. Why was it actually renamed as ocean model? The openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion, and agreeableness. These four alone are highly, advantageous to an individual at work when they are very high, above 50. So plus is actually an advantage. Neuroticism alone, the lowest it is, it is an advantageous minus. That's why it's called as ocean. All the advantageous plus are on the top, and N neuroticism when it is advantageous, when it is minus. But for an individual, after the assessment, it can be anything between 0 to 100. You can make every coefficient into 4 quadrants. You can put them into 4 quadrants. If you take openness to experience and conscientiousness, it can be O plus and C plus, or O minus and C minus. It can be O minus C plus or O plus and C minus. You can put each coefficient in 4 quadrants. After my assessment, in which quadrant am I? Out of the 10, I have to select a role where at least 7 of the coefficients are matching in my work nature. The 8, 9, and 10 can be a part of a reflective habituation created by the corporate trainers. Clear? The role fitment is exactly this, based on now the matchmaking has to be done about the key result area taken by every individual. In hiring situations, this is going to be, more appropriate. Somebody who is looking for a growth, MBTI standalone doesn't give a support. Clear, Ganesh?
Right. Yep.
Okay, what are these coefficients? It can be our anger management is one coefficient, right? Professional growth is one coefficient. So this way, the combination gives you about 10 coefficients. When you research about it, you will understand. So whoever is coming to you from the mid to senior career, you put them here, or taking up a senior management or a junior or a middle management role. Even an early career person can come. Their job specification, the key result area should be proportionate to the quadrants which are actually favorable. All right.
Right.
Okay, so that it can be not only in the internal hiring, even in external hiring. Somebody you can find till the fag and they go. There'll be, tough competition between only the two. The individual might have built castles in air. Like, because every job, one job to another job you shift, you get 30 to 40% hike. Right? With which, they think they have cloud in their mind about, they'll be in cloud nine of building castles in air. And it did not work. They were not able to make out why it did not work. What went wrong? Some unique strength of them, which is required for that career, has not been elevated by the candidate. In the hiring situation is very important. Putting forth one's strength, not weakness. The values they hold and also the personality they hold, how much right fit they are, they'll be able to speak about. That's a negotiation. Many people are not aware about this. Big Five is a standalone assessment. Sometimes you can find, as I said, that parents come for a child who is actually in an adolescent age for career subject choices, so many things. But they may have a younger sibling. They'll be also, anxious to ask, can you guide this child? Very naughty this child is, because the second ones are very, very naughty. Not even possible to control at home. And their parents would be always trying to engage them, which I used to do to my second one. What not she will do. She'll do everything. She's supposed to have born as a boy. She'll do everything. She was not actually so very passionate about giving exams. During her school times, she'll tell who actually found this exam system. If I have a power, I will shoot them. And she will not even write for the 2.5 hours, half an hour. What did you do the other 2 hours? I slept. She will very boldly say, half an hour, whatever I felt like writing, I wrote. But if I am going to teach her, she will actually, verbally, she'll talk to me on that. She'll be every way correct, but she'll not. And the mark sheets won't come. If she comes, I will belt her. She knows that. At home, she doesn't qualify, get that minimum 40 or 45. I will literally, the elder one will do very well. This girl, she will not even give her answer sheets to me. Before I return from work, she would have soaked some methi seeds. Right? She will put it into her mixer jar. And she would have also soaked these answer sheets. And everything, one day, I was going to the terrace, I was seeing lots of molds there. Different cups and spoons and tumblers were there. I was wondering, what are you doing? She was actually, doing all those molds. And she was chipping them and also painting and making a lot of crafts. I was feeling very good. Oh, nice. She's very creative, I thought. One day when I was returning home early, I saw her grinding in the mixer. I asked her, what is this? She told nothing. She was just about to start to grind. I stopped her. I opened the jar full of answer sheets. Red-handed, she was caught. That was the day I knew that what she was doing all along. Very mischievous. I had to put her somewhere. And engaging her like this, the parents might come to you. Where will I engage my child? Anything related to arts or sports, because these doesn't develop all in a sudden. For them, we cannot test their personality or interest. We can only check in their age between 6 years to 12 years, a multiple intelligence test. It's another situational judgment test. So we test their numerical, but not logical. We test their verbal, but not clerical and administrative. We test their spatial and visualization, but not their leadership and decision making. We will also include social skills and mechanical skills. Based on this, where their bodily kinesthetic is more connected. Body smart or brain smart, we'll actually have to check. So these days, you find the younger generations, at 8 years, they are actually owning YouTube channel. And the way they were very comfortably, handling an open crowd or even a live show. Amazing it is. Those are actually, somewhere, inside their gene. They have to be elevated out. So for that, you have a MI test, multiple intelligence test. There, using the report, we don't need to do a career planning or doing a detailed analysis. Whatever are the careers, they are actually listed there. It's an ancillary option. They can also have a second career in future. Sorry. So there you don't need to give a detailed counseling. The report is self enough, right? You go to a lab and give your blood sample. You would like to know whether if it is A or B or O group and what's the RH factor, plus or minus. That's all, a report. That's it. From which we cannot try to identify when will my hair grow gay or when will I get presbyopia. Those are all aging factors. When will I actually, my skin, get wrinkles. For all these, there are other tests, right? Pathological tests available. Okay. A master health checkup is the comprehensive assessment. And if any one organ has got any trouble, then we do a specialized test, maybe a CT scanning or an MRI scanning. We were able to detect it. That is what is the personality test standalone, big five. Sometimes you may find there can be children coming to you who are in 11 and 2, who are either doing a PCMC or a PCMB or doing a 3-year diploma program. Diploma in civil engineering, diploma in mechanical engineering, diploma in automobile, diploma in electrical and electronics, diploma in electronics and communication. They all are pitching for a direct lateral entry from the second year in their engineering studies, because you can see that such children who go to polytechnic, because engineering requires minimum 50%. Something happened, they are not able to score that 50%. They are not eligible for engineering directly after 10th. So they won't go about for 11 and 12. They will go for a polytechnic, and then from there they will jump to engineering. They would have decided only engineering I would like to go. Which branch of engineering? This is another situational judgment test. Here also, we are not taking or giving any recommendations based on their personality or interest. Certain standalone questions are being framed. Okay, basis the response to those standalone questions, we tell them which engineering career they are good to take. It can be core engineering or also anything related to technology-enabled careers. Those things are available with us, correct? Even those who are currently doing engineering or completed engineering, if they'd like to take any engineering related career path only, whether it is going to be technology or non-technology enabled career paths. Project management and operation management are all actually, technology enabled paths, correct? Modern day industry gives lots of opportunities for such people. So these two are situational judgment test. The reports of all these comprehensive assessment till 8th, 9th and 10th, 11th and 12th, the comprehensive report would be maximum 32 pages for a single career as a favorite career with the education roadmap. But for working professionals and graduates, they will have a 35-page report for one career with education roadmap. But the other situational judgment test will all be only between 10 to 14 pages. So what will they do? Where will they come and take the assessment? Right? Taking assessment is actually free. Okay? They can take the assessment questions in a pen and paper method, or they can use a technology platform so that they don't need to come in person to your place. The technology platform you have will have a web page. You can give that URL to your customers, your candidates, and it is actually, possible to open that link even from a mobile or tab or laptop or computer under browsing setting. You can give them the URL. The URL that you're going to give is your own landing page of your tech platform, where you can find the tabs for separately for school students and separately for professionals. Graduates includes in the professionals. There are totally 30 plus assessments which have been loaded to a tech platform. Those who have taken the tech platform, not taken the tech platform, you are open for all the assessments, questions to access. But those who have not had the tech platform, you will manually administer the assessment. You'll have to make a question paper of it. You cannot export the question paper from here, but you can have an access from any of our tech platform, even from our Vedu Milestones website or from the platform I have given. You can manually take their responses and manually do the analysis. But believe me, it is laborious. It takes a longer time. But if you give it to the tech platform, after the responses are given here for the respective assessment, the responses are captured as data. From this data, as an input from the candidate, if we are to give a report, it needs to be processed with finding statistical correlations between the dimensions. So this analysis is actually embedded in the artificial intelligence. It can process a report just in seconds. And it will deliver the report in your admin panel. But provisionally in the admin panel, the report is in a deactive form because to process the correlation, AI converts the data as codes. And the processing is also in only the coded language. And the processed report also will be only in the coded language. It needs to be decoded. It requires an access code to activate every assessment. That means decode every assessment. So that a report would be generated which will have recommendations of careers wherever the system is finding it suitable. We know that the recommendations can be a top choice, good choice, optional, or avoid. Rejecting the optionals and avoids, you can start working on the top and good choices. Whenever it is a top or a good choice, the psychometric score is between highest 100% and lowest 60%. Skill and ability also can be there, but the scope for developing the skill and ability is largely dependent on the psychometric. Now, as a counselor, you might have to help them interpret the report because 9 out of 10 candidates may not be able to self-interpret. When the questions have been asked on interest and personality, when you go through the assessment questions from the statement of description, you may be able to relate which personality, which interest. But the candidate doesn't know because after your training, you have been skilled in that. For every career, you should know what is required. And also what is available. When you actually compare them, you will be able to figure a gap. When it is not 100%, there is a gap. If it is 96%, 4% gap, 90%, 10% gap. As a counselor, our responsibility is to interpret why 90% suitable and also what is the reason for that 10% gap. Is this gap because of personality or interest or values or learning style? We need to actually mirror them that transparent information. That is what is going to empower even a 13 or 14-year-old child to possibly make a favorite career decision. Once that is decided, then you will give them the education roadmap. To have a platform, they can log in and see the education roadmap for all the 154 career paths. This is how your journey goes. So where will you begin? How will you begin? During my graduation in psychology, always my faculties insist. You should have an 80 or an 100-page notebook for every year of your respondent. Because there will be many inputs that you will be gathering about it. You need to record it. Medical records is a profession which is at par equal with a medical situation. There it is a physical health, here it is a mental health. See, the assessment and its recommendation as a report are only based on 5 dimensions. But Ganesh was saying that so many other things have to be, attached. What are they? How will you observe from them? Offline to the assessment, you have to have a checklist of questions that you need to pose on the candidate. We are recommending you not to have an extempore counseling. Somebody finding you that you are providing career counseling and many people are giving good words of mouth about you, and they're just barging in either by call or a phone or a video call or even a phone call or even in person. Sir, I am doing so and so class. I want counseling. What should I do? If assessment, yes, I will take it now. Should I pay any money? I'll pay it now. And I want the counseling now. That should not be at all an approach about you. You have to part into 3 major episodes. If you do this structurally, a candidate time you are spending need not be more than 2 to 3 hours for all the 3 episodes. Pre-counseling, during counseling, and post-counseling. You should have a 15 to 30 minutes of a pre-counseling discussion with the candidate. If you have a tech platform, strangers can come into your tech platform, and if they are tech savvy, they can directly go and take the assessment. Or they don't know anything, they might talk to you even before taking the assessment. In every case, how an assessment was actually carried out. There's a discipline for it, correct? School children have a fatigue for test. When you say that this is a psychometric test, you will have to take it for 45 minutes to 1 hour. They'll be a little reluctant. They need to know what is going to be observed by them. See, child, this is a test. A psychometric assessment in order to plan your career. What kind of career is going to be fitting you the most? For which we will test your interest, priorities. We'll test your nature, where you are strong, how you can actually communicate, your strength. And how long your interest can be withheld. How it can be, nurtured. So the value that you would regard at work, which can promise your growth for the first 10 years. You may or may not have the skills required, but you are scopeful to build the skill. So what is the learning pattern of your own method, which is going to help you doing that? So that's what, we will be capturing in this assessment. You need to have a pre-counseling discussion with them at compulsorily, right? And tell them, see, there are no any good or bad answers. There are no any right or wrong answers. Understand the question and give what you are fit to that question. Those are closed-ended options. While testing your interest, there may also be not sure. Don't stop them from giving not sure response. Allow them to give their not sure response. But which question they answered not sure, you can ask with them. You can also find from the report. So that career becomes a point of discussion for you with the child, correct? You need content. There are subtle indicators where all you can get contents for the discussion during your counseling. And tell them that once this assessment is done, do not do it in a hurry while you're traveling somewhere or you're planning for going somewhere. Do not finish this assessment in a haphazard way. Tell them the importance of taking it at least between 45 minutes to 1 hour, not beyond 1 hour, not less than 40 minutes. Where it can influence the mood swing. The mood swing can influence their responses. So that I get a right input about you, which I can analyze and give you the most suitable recommendation. So I need some more information. As a candidate connects with you, what are those set of information? It's called as observation, right? Undoubtedly, you'll fetch information about the demographic details, the name, age, which class they are studying. In case if they are in 11 and 12, which elective. In case graduation, which branch. And which year, in 11 and 12, 11th or 12th. Right? Or in graduation, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, which one? In case if they are on the verge of finishing their graduation, after graduation, would they like to study high, do higher studies? Are they open for it, or are they looking for employment? Better to ask. The children who are school children, you know that there are Indian Board of Studies and International Board of Studies in India too. State and central board, elective starts only after 11th and 12th. ICSE after 8th. These are all Indian board. If it is a student who belongs to international school, their elective starts after completing 9th. Their university study is for pre-university studies for 3 years. Diploma program, like our polytechnic, correct? So therefore, you will ask all these information. You can also fetch details about their academic performance. Are they above 80%? So that you can judge whether they'll have to go by self-finance or merit, correct? Parents' occupation. These days we find both the parents are occupied. For this, we are not going to increase our fee charges, right? But it is for to plan their budget. In case they cannot afford, you should have an alternative for it, right? Economic status of the parents becoming very, very important. Mostly you can see that parents try to voice out where the child should go and study, correct? Because they say that I do the research. I am researching for my child. I didn't have any guidance, but I'll not let my child to be, without any guidance. Self-medication. They might have been prone only to certain domains, not to everywhere. You may have a parent calling and telling you, I have a son who is doing class 10 or class 12. I've been advocating him to go for a career. He is refusing. My colleague's daughter had a counseling from you. My colleague was actually, giving fantastic views about you. Like you're more knowledge. You know many careers. So this is the career I'm asking my child to take. Tell me, is this a good career or not? According to career counseling ethics, do we have any career which is a bad career? Nothing. When my daughter was actually, after 12, she did not want to go for engineering. She was very good in her maths. She don't know engineering. Where else she can go? The younger one. We asked, you're good at maths. Are you good to take up anything related to maths? She said yes. So we chose statistics, maths, and economics as an elective. So that she can become a statistician after getting a post-graduation done. Many people told, there is no demand for statistics. I told, who told? There is no competition there. Only thing is they want a brain hit there. Normal people cannot go there because they have a competency problem. If a child has got a competency, they can always make a success. Because they don't want to put any much efforts. She did that. But when it came for completing her graduation, she told, Ma, I don't want to further go into statistics. I want to apply this. I don't want to do the core aim. We were wondering, where will we go? According to her personality, she is an extrovert, sensing, feeling, and judging. Good for HR, PR, and marketing. But she has done her program in statistics. Where she can go? Her interest was, social interest was the highest. Second highest was conventional. Enterprising and investigative are the third highest. All of them above 80. Where she can go? Then we were brainstorming. Now she's doing her MBA in HR in a B school. She did her competitive exam. She got a rank and she's joined there. And she's working on an HR specialist. She doesn't want to become an HR manager. She doesn't have much enterprising interest. The social and conventional are high. Where she can go. But she's very good in her analytics. So the role what we have chosen now for her, she's pursuing special studies on HR analytics. All right. So this was a customized search what we were able to research and give it to her. Fortunately, I'm into this industry. Think of many parents. They are not aware. You people are the only solution for them, correct? First of all, we have to talk to them very transparently, understanding their areas of interest. By and large, parents would be actually, throwing their thoughts. Your Spock is your candidate, student. During their conversation, father's conversation with you, you could not say yes or no. The father is deeming you to convince the student. Can you directly agree? If you disagree, father won't bring. If you agree, the student won't support, cooperate. How will you handle it? And when the student such way, when it comes to you, you cannot have an eye contact at all. When you're trying to counsel somebody and give your viewpoints, they have to be in your direct eye contact. Then only you can convince them or justify them. And speak to them about all the ramifications you have done, fact-finding them. When the candidate is not even into your eye contact, you'll be wondering how to bring him into an eye contact. The ice-breaking point is asking their interest. There might be a kind of a reluctance or indifference as though you're going to regard my interest. Willingly or unwillingly, the student would be sharing it. But sometimes you may also find pampered children doesn't have any much interest, to be researched. You need to check with them on their hobbies, where they have been largely engaged. Some people would say that my child is very, very creative. The one question what you can put on them is, do you do good drawings? Yes, I do very, very good hand sketch, very, very good hand sketching. But how would you do the hand sketching? Will you think of something in your mind and you start doing the sketching? Or you will see a real image and you will do a sketch? You will get to know whether it is a creativity coming after imagination or it is coming after a reality. Sensing or intuiting, correct? If it is based on sensing, you can put them into the visual arts. If it is based on intuition, then it is based on their design arts, correct? We need to figure this out. Irrespective of many careers, I gave you one example. The co-curricular areas, where had they been? Suddenly people would want to get into a sports quota. Right? It doesn't overnight actually, develop in them, right? It has to be soiled in them for years together. You can find realistic interest high, but they've not been a part of the school sports team at all. Playing a PT period doesn't help. We need to find out. Had they been an active member of a team? Have they participated in inter-school competitions? Do they have a competitive competition participation certification or, accolades? Had they been in district or state or national or international level, which can fetch them a lot of privileges, reservations. So when I call upon reservations, it doesn't count only about the sports quota. We know our country is actually striving hard to promote literacy. Right? So lots of subsidies, scholarships are being extended as a part of diversity and inclusion. So the higher education or job opportunities or something, which based on community. This we already know for years together, it is pre-existing. Questioning about the community of the candidate, you might find it little uncomfortable, but you will have to ensure your, your convenient way of asking it. So that some people may know about the privileges available. Some people may not exactly have. This is about the racial indifference in order to change the situation. The economical. Parents may have an income, the annual income totally would be less than 4 lakhs. You know what they'll have to do? They'll have to go to the village administrative officer and fetch an income certificate. That their income is less than 4 lakhs per annum. For their children higher education, they can fetch a lot of scholarships. Government, non-government, social welfare institutions thus offer sponsorship for these children. In a point of time, I heard from a month before when I trained 2 people who are from Ahmedabad. They were sharing, like, at Gujarat, still, girl children are not actually allowed to take education. If any educational expenditure, the family decides that anyway we have to pay a lot of dowry for the child. Many parts of our country used to give that cactus milk to a girl baby when it was born. South India, it was too high. It's become a sin, a legal issue now. In 2013, when I was with that deemed university, in mechanical engineering, there used to be only 1 or 2 girls. Girls are not recommended to take mechanical engineering at all. What a proud moment we felt in Chennai when the metro trains were operated. The first to drive that metro train was women. Correct, Ganesh?
Exactly.
So, diversity and inclusion initiatives has to include equality for women. If the parent has a single girl child, they can claim for special subsidies on their additional higher educational expenditures. Not only that, I always used to say the target audience of yours are not only from urban. If you go to tier 2, tier 3 locations, the parents are totally illiterate. They don't know that they have to actually have a career. They don't even know what is career. For them, it's only breadwinning. Neeraj will be seeing a lot of people in this perspective. You give an awareness to them. How? For a graduate who is wanting to become a first generation graduate of that particular family, there are special acknowledgements for it. Like this, if you look at the Indian education system, to cover up the economical, racial, political, social conditions, whatever are the support systems available is all a part of it. As a career counselor, we need to be very familiar on this. What is available? Because you are possible to meet any kind of people. From the richest till the poorest. How opportunity can be extended via you to everyone. Now, essentially, let's come to the common problem. The children are often unheard. As I said, they are going to be your primary point of contact, SPOC, specific point of contact. All your attention is for their career plan. So, you need to give the responsibility on the child. It's you who's going to manage your career. Tell me, what kind of career have you brainstormed? Some would have done, some would have been unknown about even that. Or they would be thinking or dreaming about some careers, which is being, diffused by the parents or the elders. No, don't go there. The child is little adamant about it, then the child takes the responsibility of justifying why they will have to go there. They should have researched at least for 3 careers. At least for 3 careers. What do they think that is actually, agreeable for them? And what those career deals and what is the scope of being in those careers? What they know about it. They need to tell at least about 3. If they are not able to tell even 3, then they'll have to admit to a consultant of our grade. Yes, I am unable to find out 3 or the true information about them. Few people, they would want to contest with us. And they'll say, I have also researched. The information that they may give on these 3 careers may be partially correct or even fully curricular. It's either case good. Because against their nature and their behaviors connected with the assessment factors, you will be able to relate and tell what is going to be favorable to them, what is going to be turning unfavorable to them. But they got to justify why would they like to go there. And what do they know about the career is also going to be clear to you. So decluttering your mind from their mind from where is very transparent to you. Now, as you collect 3 careers from the student, since if it is a school student, we find that it is the parents who are actually going to sponsor their education. Even going for an education loan, there has to be a security signing done by the parents, correct?
Yep.
So we cannot discard parents. We need to have till school education. Parents must be a part of your counseling discussion. Never skip parents for the school children. They also need to give 3. They also should be able to figure out 3 careers for their children without any inadequacy in the information about the careers. Otherwise, they also got to admit with us. They can know about those careers from you. They cannot give 5-10 options. They should be able to narrow down to 3. If not, they'll have to rather admit the situation to us. That is where we will be able to wear as a counselor our cap and make the counselee and the respondent as wearing their cap. That role clarity is very much required. Otherwise, they would try to dictate you. They would try to take the situation. That's an upper hand you are going to have there. The proposals may come also in the form of preferred program of study or college of study. This college branding in India, it is not there in any country. They go by the brand. Till school, the parents who are actually both the parents working, they'll put their child in a private school. They'll claim about the standard of a corporation school. Because they'll feel that, that till then they can afford. I was totally dumbstruck when my brother-in-law shifted from Dubai to here and put his daughter in an international school. For class 3, he spent around 4 lakhs. Is it required? Not more than 19,000 rupees I spent for my child. They studied in a very good school. It's a private school, but a CBSE based. See where education is actually costing fortune in one's life. 4 lakhs in 3rd class means going forward higher classes, how much are they going to be wasting on the education of their child? But you know what? All of them look for IITs, IIMs, NITs, TI Manipal, Symbiosis. They want all premium schools and make their children struggle for competitive exams. And when the child is not able to crack the entrance, they blame the training institutes. If you visit, schools like many training schools like Akash, Fitji, people are throwing garbage because their dream have not gone through. Their aim was to put their children in NIT or IIT. This institute did not even train. That buttermilk has to be churned. They are not even understanding that. Is my child made for that? They are unnecessarily going by the college branding because in NITs, the engineering studies per year for 4-year program is 17,000 rupees in NIT and IIT. The 1-year tuition fees. Plus a lab fee for about 3,000 to 4,000 rupees. That's all. 1 lakh engineering ho jayega. It will happen. But if it is a self-financed college, imagine. They're afraid. They speak so much. And they try to argue with you. The middle income group, a wife is not working. Their men take an upper hand. Every 1 rupee to pay you this 2,000 rupees you ask, no, Ganesh. That also your wife cannot decide. The father will say, I am saving contingency. If this fellow doesn't score mark, Then I'll have to pay capitation and get him engineering. Why? They can take counseling from you and plan and have a short career, right? They come and bargain with you about the COVID situation or any kind of an economics crisis. After new education policy, what is the change? We know that in our conventional education pattern, till class 10 in Indian boards, we used to have a general English, general Tamil, history and geography as environmental science. Then we'll have science, which includes physics, chemistry, and biology. And then we'll have one mathematics, maths, science, and social studies, right? This is still the 10th class, 5 subjects. After 11 and 12, we had the major 5 group classification. Now that has been reformed into 4. Where as per the new education policy, which has been implemented and made effective from 2021-2022 academic year, a student has to select 3 mandatory subjects under 4 major groups. It should be maths, physics, chemistry, or it should be chemistry, biology, physics, or it should be commerce and business studies, or it should be humanities. The 4th and the 5th elective option will be based on at least 8 subjects offered to them. Out of the 8, they can select 1 or 2. This is how the new education policy has been, implemented. So we are going to be having the first batch of students with new education policy of education system in 11 and 12 from the current year. Now this year, the first set of people are going to give up. But now, for them, after stepping to graduation, where will they go? We know that BA, BSc, BCom programs at UG level has 3 years. And if they want to do a post-graduation, further 2 years. For engineering, 4 years. Medical and architecture, 5 years, correct? For their UG. And thereafter, +2 of post-graduation. Now, going forward, the new education policy for the new batch who are stepping out is a 4-year degree program at an UG level on programs like BA, BSc and BCom. It's not 3 years anymore. They are also going to be offered electives. So this is the new educational policy reformation, step by step taking up. At a university level, there are different universities, state and central government universities, or you have private deemed universities. Each of the university, from the curriculum offered by UGC offers 100% of curriculum. 85% of them has to be captured by syllabus. Out of that, 75% is a standard syllabus for every college and universities. From the university, there might be affiliated colleges. It might be also looking for an autonomy. So 75% is common on the subject curriculum. The remaining 10%, based on the teaching resource they have, they can modify the electives. Right? So this is how the education pattern is. Now, to go to which college is also becoming a decision factor, not by the brand, by the subject what they offer. In our last session, we discussed about liberal arts. Liberal arts are not available in every college. Hardly in India, 16 to 17 colleges have offer that. And not only all the 16 and 17 offer a post-graduation. Understanding the college, the subjects offered by them, and willing to relocate, provided we are able to sense a promising career out of that subject of study, becomes a crucial point, correct? Let me give you a situation. Another one is preferred location of work. See how much critical this is becoming. Let us consider a student is from Kerala. He belongs to Cochin. And appeared at J2E Advance has got an admission basis his rank in 4 NIT colleges in South India. One from Suratgarh, Karnataka. Another from Warangal, Andhra Pradesh. One more from Tamil Nadu, Trichy. And one more from Calicut, Kerala. So in for all the NITs, it's possible to get admission for his engineering studies. Where to go? Who will be deciding that? The parents. They feel that Suratgal and Warangal are far away from Cochin. The most nearest are Trichy and also Calicut. Since we are Keralite and we belong to this Malayalam language, and traveling from Cochin to Calicut is hardly 5 hours or 6 hours. Child can come in 5-6 hours back home. With that intention, they would further zero down to go to only Calicut. Now, according to the rank of the student is not eligible to get computer science or IT or electrical or electronics or mechanical or even automobile. The student is offered only either chemical engineering or metallurgy or anything related to plastics technology. Only these 3 programs are offered. Will the parent decide based on the brand of the college or how? If they want to go by the brand and the distance and the location, after 4 years of completing degree, what is the plan? The parent would say, you go to Calicut, study, and after 4 years, you come back and you can take a job at Cochin. If this is the thought that the parent is trying to seed in the child's mind, and after the child has taken and completed, can we assure for metallurgy related careers, are there opportunities in Cochin?
No.
Then what's a great deal? Do you understand how civil engineers are becoming coders hired by TCS?
Yep.
The objective is totally defeated. And by choosing that particular program of study and not continuing to contribute, because the college intake, allocating seats is based on producing so many engineers for that domain. That domain demands so many engineers. And their domain is deserted. And if it was another child who is willing to relocate, if the child is not willing to relocate to any other location other than Kerala, then what's a great funda in doing that career? Because metallurgy related careers thrive in locations in the middle part of India, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan for iron and steel, Chhattisgarh for tin, Bihar and Orissa, in lot of metal minerals. If the candidate is unwilling to relocate to those locations, then how will the industry in that area, that industry thrive? Can the pan India afford to, survive without contribution from these domains? Highly impossible. And it is such a societal injustice done by a candidate to the country, where depriving an opportunity to the next in queue. This is the rank. If he doesn't want to work in that domain, he should skip and get out of it, so that a gateway to the next candidate is opening. Isn't it a huge social status problem? They have to be willing to relocate. Right? See, they should know the pros and cons of taking a career. The location of a work, should it be decided after completing the degree or having assumed the job? When people, you can find Gen X and Gen Y, parents urge children to take a government job. And they are not willing to have their children relocated for their professional wants. Where will they grow? A person working for a government department should be willing to relocate. People on the technical area, they cannot stand, in a particular location for more than 5 years. It is so sensitive. There are a lot of code of ethics about it. There's so much of competition in God hired there. And if they are not wanting to deliver what they are hired for, they shouldn't have even participated in the hiring process. This is what is happening throughout the country. If it is metallurgy related careers, they thrive in this Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Bihar, Orissa, Chhattisgarh. Bihar and Orissa are not only for metal ores. They are important for their denser population. 3 states in India, Kerala, Orissa and Bihar. These 3 are highly populated areas where you can find human resource as a natural resource. There the metal ores are natural. That's why, those industries are thriving. Here, human resource. These are the locations from where you can find skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled employees. All category of people come not only in India, pan-India as well as outside India. If you take hospitality, hotel management is actually a surviving business for business class hotels all over any metro city. That is for the survival of the hotels. But the hotel industry and travel and tourism industry is thriving means they're all into the holiday locations like Goa, the upper part of India, Himachal Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Meghalaya. All these are the places where holiday is actually being enjoying as actually, revenue generator. All the islands, travel and tourism is actually, is a key revenue generator there. And people express an unwillingness, I don't want to go there and work. Then they can't actually be able to continue or earn money, correct? But in turn, what do they say? There is no job. And they have now got another reason, that COVID. How unfortunate. If you take trading as a domain, Mumbai, Maharashtra, Pune, Maharashtra, Mumbai and Pune is called as Manchester of India, right? If you take coastal areas, fisheries, that's also another industry, correct? Throughout India, we find that industries are actually thriving, surviving or striving based on where it is naturally having its denser resource. And, government has set up an initiative to set up the infrastructural requirement for those industries to thrive. We cannot go and expect fisheries to do well at Bikaner because it is actually from Rajasthan. It's a desert area, correct? It has its own natural resource which can help a particular domain thrive there. The demand for careers should be with a willingness to relocate what they would like to study and where they are more suitable, correct? That's how the job opportunities are to be taken. If you can note, these job opportunities are actually distributed under government, public and private sectors. 20% only government and public sectors are there. Without any prejudice or any personal idea, now Mr. Modi is actually privatizing all the government institutions. Airport Authority, Air India. My husband worked for HVF, Heavy Vehicle Factory, which manufactures ammunition vehicles for the border security force. My husband was a quality engineer there. When we left from Chennai to Bangalore, now when we are back now, it is privatized. Only 20% of them continue to be under the government and public sector. The job opportunities in this 20% is reported via the frequent publishing from UPSC or SSC or or even service commission, small service commission exams, right? The people who are into the administrative team or the tech administration or into the border force, correct?
Yep.
But the larger population are annexed with the private institutions, correct? Okay, the news release from the employment news can give us information about government opportunities when is next coming. Even Railway Recruitment Board or banking or BRB, everything, gives you a circulation. But my question is, almost 80% of the job opportunities are with private sectors. How can you gather information about the job opportunities in private sectors? If any one of you can give me your thought, let us actually take our discussion from there. Where will you go for an authentic information? Where will you find information about the availability of job in different domains?
For that, I guess like we have a lot of employment forums. I mean,
One
I'm not
second,
talking.
one second, one second.
Yeah.
Hello. எங்க இருக்கீங்க? வந்துட்டீங்களா? ஒரு நிமிஷம். Just a minute, one courier has come. Just keep brainstorming. ஒரு நிமிஷம் இருங்க வரேன்.
So, guys, let's try to find the answer for this question what Radha has asked us.
Yes. Where do we find the details for the
Yeah,
job source, right?
Yeah. Where
Yep.
will you find the job opportunities for private segment? From where will you track information? So, Ganesh was saying something. What is that?
I was saying there are numerous employment forums which are getting created for the sake of this. And apart from this, these days, I mean, yeah, I'm actually not the reason why I'm not focusing on the jobs which are posted on the social media sites or even the Naukri or Monsters, because like sometimes the information that is given there, even a lot of people cannot rely on the information because like one, there is no, I mean, there's not enough information, or sometimes like the information given there can even be bogus.
See, I'll
So
tell
for the
you what.
sake of that,
I'll tell you what. As you said in Naukri or job sites, they're all the current vacancies. They cannot exist more than 3 months. And while you are
that's
trying
there.
to forecast a demand for children in early age, that doesn't serve the purpose. This is point number one. Point number two, as you rightly said, the social media sites are all a gambling. And whatever the job opportunities, mentioned there, as you rightly said, they are not reliable. They are views and opinions, correct?
Apart
But
from being views and opinions, I mean, as in like, I mean, I have come across a lot of job postings, literally job postings, but then like when we call the numbers or when we respond to the emails, what they have given there, it's kind of like misleading.
correct. It's all, that is what I'm asking. Where will you rely on an information? Because when you are going to do you are going to become an architect of a career for a candidate. When you talk about some new age careers, what will the parent ask? If you are a parent, you will ask it for your own child. Like, what is the assurance that the demand will exist after 7, 8 years? For a child in 9th or 10th, taking up that career is after 7 years or 8 years.
Right.
What is
So
the latest
probably
timing there?
we can actually look at, like I said, these employment forums or HR forums or other business related forums where you have all these employment opportunities being discussed every now and then.
Yeah, we cannot be ad hoc, right? We need to be very
Yes.
precise where we are supposed to go, where we can find an authentic information, right?
Yes.
MHRD publishes time to time, news bulletins about the government intakes. Similar to it, we are only able to believe and trust and take it forward if it is an initiative from the government, correct?
Correct.
So as we speak about the industry and its development, the infrastructures are actually set up by the government only, correct?
Yeah.
We have ministry for each and every domain, right? Likewise, for the industries and commerce, we have a separate ministry, right? Ministry of Industries and Commerce, correct?
Yep.
So every government department doesn't directly act. They engage public sector units as a nodal body to implement their programs. Understood?
Right.
Okay, one such public sector unit from the Department of Industries and Commerce is CII. Who are they?
Yes.
Confederation of Indian Industry. They do an audit every year. They started this audit from 2014 and publish a report every year in the month of January. Okay, they started publishing from 2015 onwards and they named it as Skill India Report. Okay, this got published from January 2015 onwards from an audit carried out in 2014 onwards. They collect the complete statistical information about the industries from different locations. And where from there is a supply and where from there is a demand. This was their primary. Originally, when they started, the bodies who were included were only 4 of them. One was CII, second was Sunstone University, third was TAG, and fourth was a technology partner, a tech platform for computing these reports were required, which was VBox. They 4 started. And slowly, NSDC stepped in. Niti Aayog stepped in. They're all another nodal bodies under the government of India. You must be aware, correct? So people from different industries, they were actually into this program, this project. And subsequently, they added up with All India Universities Association, UNDP, then AICT. From last 2021 onwards, ASAP. All these are government initiatives for different industrial developments and educational developments. Today, we have also Prime Minister's contribution for this. So I have already shared this ISR report of last 3 years, 2021, 22 and 23. 23 has already been published. We are just January, right? Crossed about 15 days. It's already published and I have shared it to you all in my document sent to you day before yesterday. If you can just see that, what it is going to show.
Yeah.
Right?
There's one more forum.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'll come one by one. Okay, this is
of
the important resource of information where you can highly rely of what is the current strength. Okay, just a minute. I'll open the 2023. Just have a feel of what kind of information is this projecting. I'm going from here. Can you see the changing trends? Is my screen visible?
Yes.
From 2017 to 2023. In this last 5-6 years, how have been the industry? You can see in 2017, the employment rate was only 40%. From there, by 5%, it increased, scaled up. And it was at its highest during 2019. Then COVID came. People speak about recession and also retrenchments, but attritions. But the overall degrowth was less, almost only 1% in 2021, and 2022 it again slightly grew up. Now you can see what is the growth now, 50.3% of growth. Okay, and if you can see which all domains the employment talents have been getting into. You see, the comparative information, BE Tech has not shown any significant growth. It has been maintaining. In between, in 2020 and 2021, there was a degrowth, but however, it actually, revived. But MBA, which was 42%, today it is 60.1%. Then you find arts. This is the maximum area where you can see growth. BCom, B-Arts, and also B-Pharm. Where you see only some 35-37%, which is twofold growth. ITI, which disappeared, again resurrected, the technical education. Okay. So these are the things people have to come out of an uniform monotonous pattern of choosing the educational areas. You can see this is also showing about which of the industries consistently been thriving. Technology enabled services, banking and non-banking. IoT is going to be turning upright completely in the next 5 years. Where have been the demand very high? Within India. And where have been from the supplies? In 2023, large supplies have been from Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra and Delhi. What about other locations? Why can't they contribute? And you can see here, look at the performance of women being hired against men. I would definitely encourage each one of you to go here. Okay, this is one source of information giving you reliability on which domain is been performing. This is a Government of India initiative, which is available to all of you at free of cost. You will only have to go to the site, which is actually the blog created by VBox, and register yourself. You can get the free version of this. You can get even the version from 2015 onwards. Other than this, I have one more site to be told. This is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. When we say statistics, we know that, we'll have lot of details about the country, about its population, about the industry. Everything is fine. There's a wing called Program Implementation. There can be many projects which have been completed and which is just going to commence. There could be some projects which are under pipeline, under progress. Some of them could be, under pipeline, which is going to be started. What are these projects? This can be with any department. It can be for the highways department infrastructure, or it could be, establishing a smart city. It can be, setting up lighting for rural areas, setting up roadways for rural areas, setting up educational system for rural areas, or if Railways is going to set up a special railway system between Delhi to Kanyakumari. What is so special? It's already existing. It is definitely special because people who are wanting to travel from Delhi to Kanyakumari in train currently has to travel 30 hours plus. The next alternative is only flight, air, which they cannot afford. If a rail journey can actually give a high-speed railway system, sorry, not 30 hours, 72 hours, the conventional method. If it has to be reached within 25 to 30 hours, that requires a high-speed railway system. They will look at the demand, whether the public want is much. And once they have actually found that it is actually justifying, that is also one more revenue generator to the country. So they'll invite for planning a budgetary proposal for it. Whom will they invite? They'll publish corrigendum of tender to the consultants. Okay, in setting up a business model for it, correct? Government also has a business model. Companies like Pricewaterhouse, KPMG, EY will come and give a lot of consultations. A budgetary proposal will be made ready under the M factor. What is the M? Money, material, manpower. How to source the money? Government Gajana has got zero in it. They invite public funding. How? In the form of bonds, securities, and debentures. We know that it is actually a promising source and traditional funding where when we want to save and invest, we'll go and fund it there. Right? And that one, we are ready to also take the results after 10 years. We are ready to wait. Even the project takes about 10 long years to implement. The fund is there from the public to the government. Money has arrived. Now the scope of work, which is also a part of their budgetary planning, will invite people into MEP projects. The renowned people I can call upon are ETA and L&T. They do it at a mega level. They take the project and they actually, subcontract. A huge army of people will be, delivering the work. Mechanical, electrical and plumbing activities. Not only that, to administer that. They need a lot of back-end operations. They need data entry operators. They need people who are actually handling network servers, communications. Need not be only in mechanical, accounting team, purchase team. They need huge army of people. Where will they resource? It's a government project which had been assigned to a private guy, and the private guy has to follow the protocols, set by the government. Correct? They can't deviate. And people in between, from Delhi to Kanyakumari, in between hubs, people who doesn't want to relocate to other locations. They want to stick only, and they want to come by overnight. The neighborhood, one after the other project is going on. People are failing to go and research. They don't even know such things exist. You should go to the implementation wing. A child who is doing 11th and 12th and wants to become a trader, very passionate about becoming a trader. If he goes into the SEBI, site, so many workshops are conducted under pro bono to have an initial orientation. Ice-breaking knowledge areas are arriving from there. Even after retirement, if somebody wants to engage, they connect with NSDC to develop technical skills who are zero skill. The fitters, the turners, all these people, they only have a knowledge of having worked for years together. If they are to be skilled and certified, NSDC offers special training programs and workshops. Who are carrying out? People who have carried out a technical role in the government department or any of these projects. Opportunities are actually there everywhere. People are failing to go and scan it. Niti Aayog's Smart City Plan. This infrastructure that's going to be set up. We travel now all India. The toll plazas, sorry. 1 minute. The toll plazas, FASTag, right? How sooner it was implemented? A lot of upgradation is happening. Who knows, there are even projects attached to it, even for a software engineer. Why do they say that they don't have job opportunities? Somebody wants to become an entrepreneur. Every state has got a project for them based on the natural resource which is thriving in their location. They promote it. While I was in Bangalore, Karnataka government had a K-Tech project of promoting 10,000 startup companies in biotechnology and information technology space. It set up an incubator, and NASCOM was servicing it. I was a part of NASCOM before joining Edu Milestones. And we were incubating entrepreneurs from the biotechnology and information technology space. I was heading a project of women entrepreneurs in biotechnology and information technology. After their 1 year of incubation, or during their 1 year of incubation, they get a market visibility. It is with the international trading also. There is a forum called She Trades, which will be, conducted in different countries, where we were able to give an opportunity to these women entrepreneurs. They just had to pay around some 4,000 rupees towards the fee, which is an incubator, which was available to them. 24/7 IoT facility. They were given about AWS cloud space for almost, 10 TB. Whatever they are trialing error and the programming they are doing to store their samples. And also, stage by stage of doing their proof of concept. And how to actually, pitch with a VC. You want a private fund, or you, after all these 1 years of incubation, And when they are ready to go live, even an elevation fund given by the government, up to 10 lakhs. All these were a part of the program, which I was actually instrumental as a project head for a 10-member of women entrepreneurs. If it is a non-governmental initiative, right, you're not looking for, I'm self-financed, right? I'm doing a boot camping and I'm getting it, right? Then TIE Global, which is actually an entrepreneurship, incubator, irrespective of technology, where so many industrial veterans come and offer the mentoring on pro bono for the first 1 year. After 1 year, they become the partner, sleeping partner, not a sleeping partner, advisory partner. They take easily about 2% to 5% of the business performance of the individual. These people make them perform. Right? Many such incubations and mentoring are happening irrespective of the domain. People, not every Tom, Dick and Harry can know this. Only career counselor can know this. And direct people accordingly where they are going to see success. Do you all agree?
Yep.
Are these informations which are given to you important and also useful?
Definitely.
Yes.
See, we are having opportunities around us. People are refusing to open their eyes and see at it. They can't know themselves. Right? You might be wondering why people are not coming for a career counseling. How will I convince them? You don't need to convince them. Just mirror them. That's all. Rather, the counseling should come and convince you. Why should they have counseling with you? Correct? Challenge them with your knowledge. Knowledge is wealth. Nothing can replace your knowledge. Keep researching. Become a member under the Department of Labor and Employment Welfare. Register yourself with NCS, National Career Services. You can keep getting news bulletins about the current vacancy for graduates or your target audience. You will be keep on attaching to the trends, which will always make you be a subject matter expert. You will be only talking on the subject. You won't have any kind of a socializing talk with anybody. Did you think that these are going to be a part of your discussion in your training?
Kind of, yes.
So this is not a massacre for you, right?
No.
So you set an expectation. How about others? Yugandhar, Loon, Khalid?
No, I not assume like this.
Pardon?
I didn't assume like this. This information would be here.
Okay. Now it's a knowledge which has come to you. You can go to heights, right? Sky is the limit for you.
Of
Yeah.
course, of course.
Neeraj,
Yes.
why no talk?
Today I am listening.
You're only listening mode.
Yes. Today I am in listening mode.
Namrita?
Ma'am, yes, I'm here. I mean, I just missed your question.
Did you expect this as a part of your learnings?
Yes, ma'am, I expected. I mean, this ministry website I haven't expected, but I have expected this counseling process and everything.
So as a counselor, just not speaking about careers, we also have to speak about its demand, correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's statistics, what is going on the current scenario in the world. Yes, ma'am. But yes, I mean, we got the report from the government. Do you think the report is accurate?
You go
See,
through the report.
Okay, ma'am.
And
I'll tell you something here. I mean, when we look at interpreting any report, it's like it gives you a highlight of what's happening.
Okay.
Okay. So any report gives you a highlight of what's happening. Even let's say, for example, you prepare a report for your management. you would only highlight certain things, right? You would not actually be describing everything in a very detailed manner. It's not going to be a very detailed report or anything. Whereas like whatever you're going to showcase there in that report, it's going to be certain important bullet points where you're going to highlight certain facts and you're going to
Key
probably
indicators,
elaborate on you're
Key
only going
indicators.
to, yes, exactly. Certain key indicators will be elaborated upon. That's the
See,
only
it's again, it is not one size fit all. It's a domain which a candidate is going to choose. You may face several candidates from several domains. And there may be the wands which will be each of them. All your 5 fingers are not of same size, correct? Each candidate whom you are going to meet, the need is completely different. You need to specifically understand the need, but after understanding the need, certain things which you have to outsource, that is not something which you can just do it at a cakewalk, right? You should know where to go, right? Then there only you do a deep iteration on it. Understood?
And as for your question of the accuracy, I mean, when we talk about general statistics, general statistics are basically like given it an approximation. You're not going to expect something which is going to be 100% information, but rather all the information that you see in the report are going to be at a general approximation.
See, what I'm saying is, it is more than an approximation. If you're going to give you, then we'll have to give you volumes with at least countless pages.
Exactly.
Right? And it is about your deep intervention on a specific area. From there, you can find where else you can go and further agile for the information. Clear? That is the direction. You need a direction. Understood, Yugender?
Yes, ma'am. Got it. Got it.
See, you are all called not counselors. We call you people as analysts. Right?
Exactly.
So, when you take a holistic perspective of career guidance, there are so many things that will fall under your umbrella. One is psychometric assessment. Does a shortlisted report giving. That's a primary point. But that's not a direct solution. Understood?
Yep.
If X is a value you give for as a report, X plus 1 is a value that you help them in interpreting the report. Okay. Now this report getting itself, you need to decide whether you want to do it manually or you want to do it, via a system which is a smart calculator. Clear?
Right.
Either case, the knowledge is same. Career counseling can never be a mechanistic approach only or a humanistic approach only. That's why this tech platform is introduced. Under the time management, where you are delegating certain areas of analysis with the system. The system gives you the shortlisted recommendations. Okay, from there only your humanistic approach is starting. Okay, when you are doing your if you do a unidimensional approach, it cannot be helpful. So you will have to do it as a multidimensional approach. Multidimensional approach. Some of the dimensions include which are not possible to ask one-on-one. That is what is administered as a test. The remaining areas are ideal conditions. Understood?
Yep.
So these are not something which you can keep on talking to the student every now and then till you sit for a final recommendation session. That is during counseling. These are all pre-counseling observation which you will have to have for the first 30 minutes. Maximum 30 minutes. During when you will ask questions and they will answer. They may have some questions, you may also pick them up. So that you finish your pre-counseling discussion with asking if there are any other specific expectation with it. After you analyze and give some recommendations and they are not willing to go to that location, then all your efforts are wasted, correct? All these has
Yeah.
to be your part of pre-counseling observation. Understood?
Right.
During when they are they would have also taken the assessment. They would have also paid for the report. They might ask you many information about the report. Reserve all your discussion about the report during counseling. Because when they take the assessment from a system, they have no scope for asking question to the system. Only they have a scope for responding to the questions asked by the system. Do you agree?
Hmm.
That is where you have things under your control. Okay. You may ask them, do they have any other expectation through this counseling? Ganesh would have faced a mother coming and talking about the child's primary health problem. A child is very weak. What can you do? You have to send the child to a doctor. Correct? You are not a doctor.
Exactly.
Giving medical consultation is not at all in your scope. And when you claim you are providing a career guidance based on psychometric approach, they'll consider us to be psychologists. And they will be talking to you. The parent might be talking to you. I'm suffering from high level insomnia. I'm not able to sleep in the night. Correct?
Yep.
They have to go to Namrata. Namrata should have a solution for it. Correct?
Exactly.
Right? Now, if Namrata was a clinical psychologist, she will give a solution for it. Correct?
Yep.
But I've been a coach. I have also had my own self-discipline. Whenever I don't get sleep at night, what I'll do? I'll do that 4-7-8 exercise. Because when I keep talking, my lungs are always strained. And we'll not be able to sleep properly when our lung is strained. The lung doesn't get adequate oxygen. Doing pranayama or this 4-7-8 exercise. 4 seconds of only inhaling. The next 7 seconds of only holding that inhaled breath. After 8 seconds of exhaling that held breath. Here the sequence should not be broken. You do it for once, it will be around 19 seconds. In 1 minute, 3 times, 5 minutes, 15 times, beyond which you will not be awake to count it. This we can do. This I need not be a doctor. A person who is actually self-disciplined can do it. Anything within our scope. You've been trained here as a certified career analyst to provide career recommendations. That's your boundary. If additional services are available with you, you can also, like if suddenly you find a behavioral disorder with a child, you can't counsel him on his behavior in his personal life. Clear? At work life, what is required? What is unavailable? And if he is trying to exercise with what is unavailable, what can happen to him? That's what you can talk. All right, because you see, 60% of the lifespan of an individual is spent at career. Directly working or preparing for the career in their education. 60% of human average life. 65 is the year. Till 45 years, we keep on 45 to 50 years. We are always conscious about what we are doing at work. Correct? The last 10 years and the first 15 years. Is that what we don't even bother about the career? Okay. So your boundary need to be set and you close your pre-counseling discussion here. Even if they have taken the assessment before and come to you, before activating their report, you need to actually cross-check on all these information and have it as your pre-counseling observation. Because after the assessment from the report, there are yet more observations. So we'll take a break now.
Yep.
It's 1:08. Okay, we'll resume by 1:50. Okay?
1:15.
Yeah. Is that okay or you want a longer gap?
I'm just asking.
What would you want to have a lunch and come back?
A 10-minute break.
Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll be here only. We can come back by 1:30. All of you finish your lunch and come. So that you will, after which I need about some 30 to 45 minutes. That's all.
Yes, I think it's 1:09 and you were saying 1:15, 6 minutes only. That's not a break.
That's a break.
Ma'am, we can come at
Fire break.
1:20.
1:30.
1:30 is fine.
Okay,
Okay,
come
done.
back by 1:30. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Will you want to sign in again, or we'll log out now and come by 1:30, or we'll
No,
remain?
We'll
I
log
usually
out
keep.
now.
Pardon?
I'll log out now because I'm taking it from the mobile.
All right. We all of us are log in by 1:30 dot. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Anyways, I'll be staying logged in. Is that okay?
But if I exit, then you will also be exited out.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. We'll log in again.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Sure. Thanks.